You're watching Lekki Prime News. I am Ahmed Kags. The headlines. Wike aide downplays minister's short remark against Channels TV. Akimbolayo calls it hyperbole. Lekki gets hybrid power boosts. Iyabo Ojo debuts Ariola sequel. And Pokemon Champions launching April 8th. News and details. The office of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has moved to contain the fallout from his threat to shoot Channels television anchor Seun Okimbolayo. Larry Olayinka, Wike's senior special assistant on public communication and social media, said in a statement on Saturday that the minister never intended physical harm against the journalists. He said the remark was hyperbolic and that the two men have since spoken by phone. The minister never meant that he will shoot Seun Okimbolayo. They even spoke on phone that same day, and he understood what the minister meant, Olayinka said. He said the remark made during a media pal in Abuja on Friday was directed at Okimbolayo on air conduct and not at the man himself. What the minister meant, which he made clear during the media chat, was that he was angry seeing Okimbolayo, whom he holds in high esteem as a journalist, descending into the political arena by speaking as an interested party instead of an interviewer, he said. Olayinka described the statement as hyperbolic in context, saying it was primarily using exaggeration to mark and to make a point and was clearly without intent. He also noted that Wike had clarified the remark on live program itself with Chamberlain Uzo, head of Channels Television Abuja office, among those present, and that the journalist is in attendance launched at the clarification rather than treating it as a threat. After the minister's detailed explanations of what he meant, including saying on the live television program that he didn't mean that he will carry a gun and shoot the television anchor. It will become a clear action job for any individual or group to pick the statement out of context and make any issue out of it. Olayinka said he urged the public to disregard what he described as attempts to weaponize the comments for political ends. Wike had drawn widespread condemnation on Friday after saying at the PAL that he was so angered by Okimbolayo's remark on Thursday edition of Politics Today that he would have shot him through the television screen. The anchor had expressed concern about Nigeria drifting towards a one-party state while discussing the crisis in the African Democratic Congress following his derecognition by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Wike said Okimbolayo outspeeded by publicly declaring a personal position on the matter rather than maintaining the detachment expected of an interviewer. He says, how can an interviewer say he cannot allow one-party states? The minister said, adding that he is not saying he will kill him. He's only just angered that he made that kind of statement on a national television. The partnership brings together two heavyweights in the Nigerian energy sector, Transgrid and Enoch Limited, a core investor in Eco Electricity Distribution PLC, providing the regulatory and distribution backbone for the projects. Decentralized Energy Limited, an infrastructure specialist focused on embedded generation power plants that connect directly to the local distribution network rather than the national grid. The project is backed by a credit enhancement facility from InfraCredit, which secures long-term local currency financing to ensure the project isn't stalled by capital shortage. The Special Purpose Vehicle SPV, to ensure the project remains agile and focused. the partners are incorporating a dedicated SPV operating the specific hybrid grid infrastructure with Lekki Phase 1 and Marina acting as a plug-and-play template that can be expanded to Ikoyi, Victoria Island, and eventually the Lekki Industrial Hub. Financial ring fencing, ensuring that the revenue generated from Lekki customers is reinvested directly into the maintenance and fuel costs of the local power plants. The project moves beyond simple repair and introduces a hybrid grid model, deploying gas-fired and solar hybrid power units within the Lekki district to ensure that if the national grid collapses, the local supply remains steady. Upgrading the 33 kV VATs and 11 kV feeders that have historically been prone to tripping in areas like Mawa, Agungi, and on Ikoyi. Massive deployments of the mobile metering units to ensure accurate billing and reduce commercial losses, which currently deter investment in the area. And of course, on the entertainment scene this morning, the fan-focused events at Film House IMAX Lekki was designed to give audience a VIP experience alongside the cast. Following the 6 p.m. screening, the event transitioned into a high-energy party. The after-party featured a total shutdown performance by Slim Case and Shegu Johnson, who provide live entertainment for the star-studded crowd. While the earlier industry premiere featured a First Lady and President's dress code, the fan event maintained a high-fashion atmosphere, drawing top influencers and local celebrities to the Art of Lekki. The film is a high-stake crime thriller and its sequel 13 years in the making. The story follows Ariola Iyabojo, a former criminal who disappeared and was presumed dead. She resurfaces years later, leaving everyone to wonder if she has returned for answers or for bloody revenge. This project is notably ambitious, featuring a cross-border cast from Nigeria, Ghana, and Tanzania. It was filmed across multiple African locations to give it a global feel. Following the cast such as Funke Akindele, Mercy Yigbe, Bimbo Akintola, Uzo Arekwe, Yinka Kadri, and Enyoluwa Adeoluwa, and the international feature of Juma Jokes, Tanzania, Ajeteye Anong, Ghana, and Priska Limo. This film marks a significant pivot for Iyabo Ojo as she steps firmly into director's chair. During the press circle, she noted that she believed in the story and knew it could make a real impact despite the demanding nature of a multi-country production. The film, distributed by Film One Entertainment, the movie officially opened in cinema nationwide on April 3rd, 2026, just one day before this fan premiere. It is currently projected to be one of the highest grossing Nollywood scroll of the season. And so moving on to the sports scene, Pokemon Champions launching on April 8, 2026. Pokemon Champions is a free-to-start turn-based strategy game developed by the Pokemon World, unlike previous titles that required players to play through a massive open-world adventure to build a team. Champions is designed strictly for high-level competitive play. This is available in Nintendo Switch and the newly released Nintendo Switch 2, which mobile version iOS Android coming later in the year. The Switch 2 advantage: while the game is playable on original Switch hardware, Switch 2 users will receive a free update that enhances visual performance and graphs. The game reintroduces Mega Evolution, new Mega Evolved forms like Mega Meganium, Mega Emboar, and Mega Paraliga. Originally from Pokemon Legends, Z2A are confirmed, featuring powerful new abilities like Mega, Soul, and Dragonize. Before the full transition to the Pokemon Champions, players are currently competing in the final regulation of the Scarlet and Violet era. Regulations. This format is a restricted meta, allowing players to include two restricted legendary Pokemon, e.g. the Miraidon, Coradion, and Calyrex or Zacian. On their restricted formats are the most explosive and high-powered in the VGC history, often serving as a final celebration of a game's lifespan. However, the date has high-powered format which will remain the standard for all official events until May 29, 2026. The Pokemon Company has laid out a specific roadmap to move the player base from the Paldea region into the new battle arena. Restriction opened for the first major champions event on April 1st, 2026 to April 8, 2026. The Pokemon Champions launches. Competitive VGC official adopts it as the standard platform. May 1st to 4th, 2026. The Global Challenge takes place, and it says that this will be the first official online tournament played on the Pokemon Champion platform. May 29 to 31st, 2026. The Indianapolis Regional Championship. This is the landmark event for the season. It will be the first live official North American regional played exclusively of the Pokemon Champions. The stakes for the Indianapolis Regionals and the subsequent June to July events are higher than ever. All champions' points end on the Scarlet and the Violet ladder. Earlier in the season will still count towards the invitations, but the 2026 Pokemon's World Championship, August 29 to 30, 2026, will be played entirely on Pokemon Champions. For the first time, trainers will have to master a platform that bridges the gap between console and mobile, potentially opening the doors for a much larger and more diverse field of the competitors than the VGC has ever seen. The 2026 Orlando Regional Championship are taking place this weekend, April 4 to 5, 2026, featuring both the VGC and the TCG. Juan Nunzi won the 2026 Severely Special Championship, defeating 2025 World Cup champion team Spain's Samuel Pereira in the finals. Ranked Battle Season 41 is now live in Pokemon Scarlet Violet, marking the final season for these games. Recap on the headlines. Weakest aides downplays Minister Schultz's remark against Channels TV. Okimbolayo calls it hyperbole. Lekki gets hybrid power boost. Iyabo Ojo debuts Ariola sequel. Pokemon Champions launch April 8th. Couples who grow and learn together stay connected. Lekki Prime News, keeping you and your family informed around the clock. Stay safe. Stay informed. I am America.